Good afternoon, and here we are, live for the Bulls versus Ulster match being played at Loftus Versfeld. First time for me on this channel, so still a work in progress. Let's look at the teams going into today's match. The Bulls have pulled out all their box for the match. Starting at loose head prop, Gerard Steenekamp, who was on the bench for the box most of the time this season. Jan Grobbelaar, who will be playing his 50th URC match this season. What should I say, in his career. Vilkulo, someone who I believe should probably get a go with the box at some point, especially considering we could be a little short on tight head props, considering the ages of Malherbe and Koch. Kobus Wiese at lock, the brother of Jasper. Ruan Norkier, oh, what a breakout season he had for the Springboks. He will be starting as captain, of course. Marco van Staden, Ulrich Hello, who I think surprised many with the way he played for the Springboks this season, after not having been in the original squads alongside Norkier. Cameron Hanekom, would not be surprised if he goes on the interviewer tour. Ambrose Papier, who had a stint under Alistair Coetzee for the Springboks, probably before he was ready, but he's been very good in the last couple of seasons. Boeta Chamberlain, former Sharks player, at fly half. Kurtley Orense, need I say more? David Creel, also playing his 50th United Rugby Championship match. Kanan Moody playing at 13. That should be an interesting centre combination. Sebastian de Klerk on the right wing with Willie Leroux at fullback, who probably is a bit short on rugby. The bench, Akker van der Merwe, Jan Hendrik Wessels, both Springboks, of course. Francois Klopper, Sintu Manjesi, Selempilo Gumede, Keegan Johannes, Stedman Gans, a Blitzbok, and Apiwe Dianti, who I was a little disappointed that the Sharks let him go. I mean, if you think of the players that are there, the wingers, I would definitely have him ahead of Yao Penke, for instance. But who knows? Maybe he wants to play, he wants to start, but he's not starting here, so I don't know. Anyway, I mean, he was coming back from, 3 years without rugby. You got to give him a bit of time. Anyway, I still think there's a future for him. The Ulster 15. Andrew Warwick, James McCormick, who at hooker will be his first start for Ulster in the URC. Corey Barrett, Ian Henderson, the captain. Charlie Irvine, it will be his debut for Ulster. James Nabney, Sean Reffel, David McCann. At scrum off, Nathan Doak, Aidan Morgan, Jacob Stockdale, Ben Carson, his first start. Stuart Moore, Werner Kok, of course we all know him very well, and Mike Lowry at fullback. Replacements, also a debut, if he comes on, for Tag McElroy, Eric O'Sullivan, Tom O'Toole, Alan O'Connor, Nick Tominay, Dave Shanahan, James Humphreys, also a debut if he comes off the bench, and Ben Moxham. So far in the 3 seasons of URC, 2-1 to Ulster, 2 wins and 1 for the Bulls. Last time they played was exactly a year ago, almost exactly, October 24, Ulster winning at home 26-19. So the match kicking off in 5 minutes. Let's take you through a few results from earlier. The Lions, with at least scintillating first half performance, winning 55-21. I'm sure if you didn't watch the game, you'd say, wow, what a victory. But they were 48-0 up at halftime. So they only scored 1 more try in the second half. with Edinburgh scoring 3 and almost getting the bonus point. That would have been disappointing for the Lions, I think, after having blown them off the park at Emirates Airline Park in that first half. 2 tries for Captain Franka Horn, 3 for Rabs Makwane, 2 for Edwil van der Merwe, nice to see him back. And also first URC try for Reinhard Jonker, of course, the son of well-known referee Marius. 1 penalty from Cade Wallater. That they opened their scoring with a penalty. Then 4 conversions, and then 2 conversions for Nohamba. Wallater actually going off with an injury just before half-time. So that moves the Lions temporarily after 2 games up into 4th place. Glasgow are top the table on 11, with Connacht and Cardiff also on 11 points, all after 3 games. So 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, their Lions 4th. Leinster 5th place after 2 matches, a full house of 10 points. So probably back them to win their game later. Last night, Connacht beat Scarlets 24-23 with quite a long-range penalty with a couple minutes to go. I'm sure Scarlets will be disappointed by that, not holding on for the victory at home. And then Cardiff gave Glasgow a good go, but eventually the defending champions, running out 52-36 winners. So let's just have a look at the other matches. It will come up after this. Of course, there is the Sharks at 6:15. I will also be commentating on that one. At the same time, Benetton host Leinster. Well, not a foregone conclusion. Benetton have been pretty good recently. But Leinster, if you looked at their team, I mean, Archie Snyman is starting for them. All you would have to do is replace him with another Irishman, possibly Ryan, and that could very well be their starting lineup for the November tests. That's how strong Leinster are. Despite that, haven't won a lot recently. So, playing second string teams here and there, because I suppose you have to pick and choose what you play. I don't know, the structure of the season, I'm not a fan because of that very reason. The Bulls, for instance, last season, I'm still disappointed that they basically gave up their quarterfinal match by sending their B team. But anyway, I mean, why play your first team in the last 16 game? And of course, we're talking about the Champions Cup here. If you're just going to throw the next one. And then, all in an effort to win the URC, which they didn't end up doing anyway. So, yeah. The Stormers, who also lost last week, as the Sharks did, take on Zebre Parma in Italy. And that kickoff is at 25-9, as it was last week. At the same time, Munster host Ospreys at Virgin Media Park. I presume that's a renaming of Tolman Park. Correct me if I'm wrong. Also, as I said, at the same time. Yeah, I'm a bit of a highlights watcher on Catch Up, like sort of most sports fans probably are. But, man, having worked at SuperSport many years ago, I kind of know what goes on behind the scenes. And there are editors there that frankly shouldn't be there for various reasons. I even encountered a few of them while I was there. The majority were brilliant at what they did, no doubt about it. You know, whether it was their sports knowledge or their editing ability. But if they're a very good editor and they weren't the biggest sports fan, they made up for it. And they made sure they didn't make it obvious, put it that way. But there were some guys that just didn't care. And it was almost like, I can see it in the highlights that I watch. For instance, that Scarlets Connacht game, I watched the highlights this morning. Connacht were leading 21-14, and suddenly Scarlets were leading 23-21. So obviously they kicked 3 penalties. How about showing the third penalty for them to go ahead? Is that not logical storytelling? Or do you just not give the stuff? And I think that is probably what it could be. Because it's not rocket science to show the kick that makes you go ahead. And then even though Connacht kicked a penalty to win the game, at least there's context to that. The next game, Cardiff Glasgow, I mean, there were 5 tries that they didn't show. Now, I get it. You can't show all the tries when there's, 88 points, and you've got to try to fit that into 5+ minutes. But the highlights were less than 5 minutes, and you showed 1 try twice. Lack of attention to detail. And irrelevant things like intro, outro, just show the tries, for goodness sake. Anyway, that's my rant for the day. This Bok-laden Bulls team ready to get going. Nice and sunny in Pretoria. And off they go. Nathan Doak kicks off to the Bulls. Caught by Elrich Lowe inside his 22. Papier, unsurprisingly, looking for the box kick, which he does. It's knocked on by Bull, I think, Aronsa. And yes, knock on. The Bulls thought they might have a chance to take that forward. But yeah, it was knocked on by the Springbok speedster, who has scored 17 tries in Test rugby and was close to her 18th in Nelspruit, but somehow he didn't fall on the ball correctly. It was almost like we would have had to do well not to score that try, but not criticizing the guy. I'm sure he'd be disappointed that he didn't score. We did score a few minutes later and ended up smashing the Pumas. So in terms of the result, it didn't mean much. Okay, so Ulster with the scrum put in, and the front rows have gone down. Referee calls it back. Let's see how the Bulls go in the scrum today. It will be a very important aspect of the match. I remember at one point, 10+ years ago, when they were actually quite strict about the feed into the scrum. They've literally just given up the ghost completely. The scrum halves chuck it under the lock's feet. Oh, Bulls. And they show what they're made of. They shunt Ulster back and first blood to the Bulls. Penalty just inside their half. Boeta Chamberlain will kick for line. So they're focusing on, I think, the tight head there. Or should I say the loose head? Andrew Warwick, who I think conceded it. His fellow prop, Corey Barrett, is getting attention. His shoulder and neck. Well, the Bulls smashed the Sharks in their semi-final in the Currie Cup as far as the scrums were concerned. But it didn't help, did it? Somehow the Sharks escaped that one. I still don't honestly know how they did it. And then somehow got away with it in the final as well. Because the Lions, particularly Morgan Nordia, was devastating. The Bulls take it off the top on the line out. They're over the 22-meter line, and it's a penalty. Looks like Ulster players not rolling away. So this should be an easy three-pointer. Oh no, Chamberlain, more or less in front of the poles. He kicks to the corner. Bulls looking to score tries today, clearly. Another good line out from the Bulls. They set up the maul. Good defense from Ulster. They're still going, however. And the referee's got an advantage to the Bulls. Orenser, nowhere to go. Gets tackled backwards, but still advantage to the Bulls. Papier. Chamberlain to Villy Leroux. He plays David Creel on his outside. He goal. It's a brilliant pass behind the back. Magnificent from David Creel. Has Sebastian de Klerk scored the try? Creel was about to go over the touchline, about 6 or 7 short. He flicked it behind his back into de Klerk. And no, it isn't a try. I was getting worked up for nothing. Looks like the assistant referee saw him step out. No, that definitely wasn't. He must have been tackled. Yes, he was tackled out. So Creel did brilliantly, but Sebastian de Klerk put his right foot on the touchline. So they'll go back for the penalty. And they've called a scrum. Interesting. On the 15-meter line, Ruan Norkia, I think, would like to just shove Ulster back over their try line, because conceding a penalty wouldn't achieve much, would it? You could just go for another scrum or kick it out. Unless you keep doing it and force a penalty try. So 3 penalties already by Ulster, 0 from the Bulls. And the scrum is set on the 15, 5 meters from the line. The referee has his hand out. Another scrum penalty to the Bulls. Over the top to Orenser. Orenser goes himself. And yes, he's over the try line. Curtly Orenser scoring tries for the Boks and for the Bulls. The defense shot up pretty quickly. Orenser coming off his left wing. Chamberlain had to pop it over the defense. It found the turf, or shall I say, Orenser caught it on his shin. He was ankle tapped just short of the line, but he wasn't held, clearly wasn't held, and reached over the try line. So first try of the afternoon for Curtly Orenser. By the way, in case you're wondering, I'm just going to take this nice and chilled. I hope you enjoy the relaxed form of commentary. Let me know what you think. Suggestions. By the way, I don't have, as you can see, a scorecard. So I will be updating the score in the comments section. So look out for that. But I will be mentioning it every couple of minutes, at least. And Boeta Chamberlain with the conversion. So 7-0 to the Bulls after 7 minutes. Volku low. Stampedes up just like the Bull he is. They go down the back line. Kicks it through. Neat little chip through, but it goes out just short of the 22-meter line. Boeta Chamberlain. great run from Ulrich Low, taking the Bulls up almost to their 10-meter line. Buta Chamberlain coming in the back line from almost fullback, it seems. Ulster, bit of a dodgy line out there, but they managed to clear it, to kick it downfield. LaRue to Orenser. Orenser goes straight. He beats one man. He picks the ball up again and goes another meter. Papier. Willie LaRue, a long pass to Creel, who pops it backwards. A little scrappy from the Bulls, and Ulster managed to get their hands on it. Should have tried to secure that ball there. That's a cross kick for the left winger, Stockdale. There's a big, stocky guy. He kicks it over the top. Can he gather again? It looks like he can, and he scores. What a try from Jacob Stockdale. He brushed off a few tacklers, kicked it over the top, collected it again. It bounced favorably for him, and then he took the man over the try line with his weight. Great try from Stockdale. Just what Ulster needed after conceding the try. Coming from a turnover from the Bulls, which probably shouldn't have happened. Pinpoint kick. He collects it easily. Chip over the head of Chamberlain. Orenser couldn't get to him. It bounces nicely for him, collects it with the left hand, brings it into the chest. Willie LaRue tried his best, but no, Stockdale, probably 20 kgs heavier than Willie LaRue, I'd imagine, and maybe 30 more than Orenser. He's a big boy, that's for sure. And he kicks it almost from the corner. What a kick. Nathan Doak, the scrum half, doing the kicking. And he slots it from the corner. It's 7 apiece. Ulster do collect the kickoff, and it looks like Markov and Staden did not release the tackled player. So penalty to Ulster. Ulster inside their own half, a bit under pressure. They managed to kick it downfield. Well positioned from Sebastian de Klerk. But he is tackled just short of his 10-meter line. The ball goes loose. It's picked up by Ulster. No, and the ball lost forward by de Klerk. So it will be an Ulster scrum. So, side setting up for the scrum. Okay, I've got the score updated. I'll be a little quicker next time. Caught me off guard. Where's that little thing now? There. And the Bulls have ripped it off Ulster. A great run. Advantage over it was for the Bulls. It's a beautiful kick pass to, inside to David Creel. What a try from the Bulls. A wonderful kick pass to de Klerk down the right-hand side. He collected it beautifully, passed it back inside to David Creel. And the Bulls go 12-7 up. Can this be another try fest like it was at Emirates Airline Park? Willie LaRue with the cross kick. Correction. It was Buta Chamberlain. Well done, Buta. So, Creel with the try. Conversion. Can Chamberlain knock it over? Yes, he does. We're into the 15th minute. 14-7 to the Bulls. Doak kicks off. And Elrich Lowe caught the ball, but knocked it on, but then tried to collect it again. And what has the referee said here? It has gone out into touch. It goes forward of his chest, and then he collected it and knocked it backwards. So that shouldn't be a scrum. There should be a line out. But they're saying scrum. Unless he's saying it came off Orence's legs. But no, I think that's the wrong decision. Lowe collected it and knocked it backwards. Don't know if Ulster would rather want the scrum or the line out. It's probably the line out. And the Bulls are probably more than happy with the call. So, 14-7 to the Bulls. We're into the 17th minute. Oh, another massive scrum from the Bulls. They just take it right off Ulster. You don't see tight heads often. The ball came shooting out. Papier played Orence on the left-hand side, but he was tackled out just short of the 22. It seems by Werner Kok, of course, the former Sharks player. Oh, Gerard Steenekamp. Almost running forward like there was no one in front of him. Amazing. So, Ulster line out just inside the Bulls 22. The Bulls compete, but Ulster get it back. The flat ball is over the 22. And the Bulls get a penalty. Marco van Staden, the fetcher. Didn't do a lot of fetching when he played for the Boks. I suppose he didn't get a lot of game time. Kept getting passed over when things changed at the last minute. But that's what he's good at. And he needs game time to be able to get over the ball. That's when he's playing at his best, because That's why he's there. Chamberlain kicks to touch. Good tackle there from Chamberlain. And then Van Staden in over the ball on his feet. No release from Ulster. Norkia taps it down to Papier. Papier flat ball to Van Staden in the midfield. Papier passes it back to Chamberlain with an up and under. Kind of a cross kick up and under. Does the ball go backwards of a Bulls player, but it is collected by an Ulsterman. And no, it came off one of the visitors. So the Bulls will have the scrum. If you're watching, tell me where you are. I've been asked to create a little community of people. Why not? Let's see where this goes. And if there are games you want me to do, I didn't have time to get ready for the Lions game. Would have been a good one. Are you at home? You having a bra? If you are, please tell me what you're braaiing. I'm always a lust for a lekker choppy, even if it's virtually. Okay, scrum reset. They're going to go again. The Bulls are just inside the 10-meter line of Ulster. And just this side of the 15-meter line. Better scrum for Ulster, but the referee has his hand out again. Papier picks it up. They can now play with gay abandon. He kicks it too far, Chamberlain. Orense just unable to collect it. It goes out into touch, but they will go back for the penalty. Looks like Willie LaRue is going to stab it out into touch. And that's exactly what he does. Stabs it. Just inside the 22 of Ulster. There again, Ulster all standing up in the front row. Could be a long day for the Irish side as far as the scrum is concerned. Grobela finds Norkia. He sets up the maul. And making steady progress. A few Ulstermen. Advantage to the Bulls for players coming around the wrong side of the maul or interfering with the maul in some form or another. The ball then goes forward as Grobela tries to break away. So they'll go back for the penalty. And Willie LaRue will, again, stab it out into touch. 5 meters short, the Bulls. We're into the 22nd minute. Grobela, a missed throw. Not finding his jumpers, so Ulster in possession. Not great there from the Bulls. They would have bet their house on getting that one back. Steady progress from Ulster. Some clapping there at the back of the the ruck. Looks like he was slapping the one guy's ass there. He was obviously lying on the wrong side. So the referee has given a penalty. So David Creel scoring on his 50th appearance for the Bulls in the United Rugby Championship. Before that, Curtly Orenser going over. Both converted by Boeta Chamberlain. And he was whacking his arm away. And a brilliant try from Jacob Stockdale for Ulster. And the line-out is successful from Ulster as they rumble upfield. Doak goes blindside to his captain, Ian Henderson. And a little chip over the top from the scrum half. It is collected by LaRue, but the referee goes back for a penalty. Not clear if Doak knew whether he had the advantage there. Kobus Visa conceding the penalty, not behind the last man's feet, as he attempts to charge that down. Doak, the scrum half, looks like he'll be doing all the kicking while he's on the field. He kicks it down the left-hand touchline. So Ulster with a line-out on the 22 of the Bulls. Just on their side of the 22. And the Bulls snaffle the ball away. A good challenge there from Rua Norkia. Another solid run from Elrich Lowe. Papier lining up for the box kick. He kicks it deep downfield. No chance for any of his players to challenge for the ball. It's taken by Stockdale, who beats one, beats two, beats three. A brilliant run by Jacob Stockdale, the left winger. He tries to go on the outside, and that's a very good tackle. Boeta Chamberlain could be a life try-saving tackle. That's a nice flat ball to Andrew Warwick. Ulster in possession. Doak. Morgan. Should I say Moore? Henderson takes it up. They're a few meters short of the 22. Doak. Some interplay from a few forwards there. Ben Carson. Oh, beautiful play from Ulster, but the ball goes forward from Aidan Morgan. He ran around in support. And as he tried to collect the second time around, knocked the ball on the number 10, Aidan Morgan. Very good tackle. Going back there from... And Stockdale with a short pass to Morgan, who unfortunately could not secure the ball. So the Bulls will have a scrum just outside their 22. Stockdale, certainly deceptive pace for the size of the man. I mean, a big guy that's just as quick. I don't know. One thing they don't generally have is that quick step. And we have smaller wings, as you obviously are aware. And that works for us, doesn't it? I mean, if you just look at how Colby embarrasses some defenders with the way he steps them. In most cases, they don't even get a hand on him. So we'll enjoy what we have while we do. It's not all about size. John Olomu never scored a try against the Springboks. I rest my case. Another big scrum from the Bulls. And the advantages for the home side again. Hanekom picks up from the base. Papier for Kobus Visa. No, not going anywhere there. And the referee calls them back for the penalty. Looks like he's going to have a chat to the Ulster men. Henderson, the captain. Far too many penalties at scrum time. At some point, the cards might have to come out. Focusing on the tight head. Corey Barrett. As the referee says, you've got to be squarer. I mean, I suppose you can start out square, but the pressure coming from the Bull scrum is immense. Like it is from most South African teams, it really is something that sets us apart. And I love it. Willie Leroux kicks for touch. The Ulstermen stepping away from the pressure, almost not taking the hit. The scrum disintegrating. Ruan Nortje knocks it down to Papier. It ends up with Moody. Up to the 22, the Bulls. Papier goes right to Chamberlain. Short pass to Ruan Nortje, to David Creel, who dives with the ball, unable to get it away. Papier changes direction. Kobus Visa, well tackled. Papier to Willie Leroux. Long pass to Sebastian de Klerk. De Klerk takes the tackle by Werner de Kok down on the 22 on this side of the field. The ball somehow comes back for Papier, who plays Ulrich low. Good interference at the ruck there by Ulster. Chamberlain, short pass to Van Staden. The ball's available. Papier is somehow struggling to get it out, and the referee gives another penalty. Probably not rolling away or hands in at the ruck, making it difficult for Papier to maintain quick and clean service. And so the referee having a chat to both captains, who are both locks, Henderson and Nortje. Okay, so the ball was trapped between the legs of one of the Ulster players. Effectively another way of holding on to the ball. Good carry from Van Staden in the replay. And Henderson, so it was the captain himself, whose legs were interfering with Van Staden's head and the ball, it seems. Van Staden was not happy. So the Bulls taking the scrum. This would have been an easy three-pointer on the 22, in line with the Poles. But I mean, the way they've been scrummaging, chances are it goes straight down to ground. The referee has his hand out for the Bulls again. Hanekom plays Papier. Long pass to Sebastian de Klerk, and that is, sorry to say, but not a very good pass. They did have the advantage, but really, I mean, de Klerk had to reach. And it looks like there might have been a yellow card. Corey Barrett, the tight head. It did seem like he was at the center of most of those penalties. And he has been sent from the field. And they're asking for the scrum again, which means Ulster will have to bring on a replacement prop, and one of their flankers will probably be sent to the side of the field. McNabney or Reffel, possibly. So Tom O'Toole will come onto the field. To complete the front row. And it is Reffel. The open side is Sean Reffel. Has to pay for, well, I don't want to say Barrett's sins. Inability to handle Gerard Steenekamp. That's really what it is. Okay, taking some time to set the scrum. I mean, looks like Ulster might put one of their backs into the scrum. Because if they were struggling with 8, imagine 7. Yes, and it is Ben Carson, his first start today. The inside center, scrumming down at 8th man. Remember, as I said, it is the first start for James McCormick, the hooker, so fairly inexperienced. While Grobbelaar is playing his 50th match in the competition, so experience pays. Bulls, another big scrum. Oh, and Hanekom plays Papier. He breaks a few tackles up to the 5-meter line. The ball goes forward. And the 8th man, David McCann, who was scrummaging at flank, I mean, he completely disengaged from the scrum, but the penalty is for not scrummaging straight. Disintegrating, not going straight and going down to ground. So, Billy LaRue, no tired of scrummaging, kicks for the corner. Unbelievable power from the Bulls. If you consider none of these players, or at least the front row, are regular starting Springboks. The depth we have up front is phenomenal. Nortje with another safe take. And the Bulls going forward. Are they over the try line? Yes, they are. A solid maul, steadily moving towards the line. And it is Johan Grobbelaar in his 50th match, matching David Creel, who scored earlier in his 50th as well. That takes the score up to 19-7. Can Chamberlain knock it over from the corner? Will be a tough one. Two out of 2 so far for him. Oh, and it is a beautiful kick from Buta. The Bulls 21-7 up in the 35th minute. Eric Davison Thanks for the message. I will not be barking Afrikaans. Ek kan nie taal praat, maar definitely not well enough to do when it comes to live rugby commentary. Ulrich Lowe takes the ball again. Solid tackle from Ulster. Eric, tell me, do you not have access to the live rugby, or are you watching the match and listening to my commentary? Which is cool, thanks. So, kick over the top. Ulster in possession. Taken up nicely to the 10-meter line. Doak plays McNabney to Werner Kok, who makes 3 or 4 meters as he always does. Ulster with a nice passage of play here. Doak plays Morgan. Taps to Stuart Moore. Ball comes out. Again up to the 10-meter line. Solid defense from the Bulls. And the penalty goes to Ulster. Volkulo, not rolling away, but honestly, there were 3 Ulstermen lying on top of him. They have to be logical about that rule. If you physically cannot roll away, what are you supposed to do? I remember back in the day, and when I was a referee in the 2000s, if someone was trapped, you just gave a scrum. How often or how seldom do you see that these days? Tackle going forward, ball can't come out, scrum. Of course, Ulster definitely wouldn't want the scrum at this point, but no, they get the penalty for something that was unavoidable. Volkulo had a few hundred kgs of Irish meat lying on top of him. There, look, 18, the guy that came on. He's basically holding him. I mean, and Jake White is incensed, and I'm not surprised. Tom O'Toole, he was a bit of a tool there, let's be real. Kind of wrestling with him. How's Lowe supposed to roll away? No, I'm sorry. You lose nothing by just giving a scrum there. Charlie Irvine on debut, the lock. That's a short one. Great work from Ulster, but it pops out the back. They didn't secure that properly, but they do have possession. Doak, Ulster, 7 meters away. The scrum off, having to secure the ball and nobody in the 9 position. Eventually they pick and go. Ulrich Lowe did go down on Doak there. I hope they don't find there's something wrong with that. Anyway, another pick and go from Ulster. And it is a penalty to the visitors. Of course, they are still down by 1 man. And if they manage to score, while the Bulls have an extra play on the field, that will give them huge confidence as he chases the water boy / physio / doctor off the field. So it's going to be a tap and go. Interesting they don't go for the line out. James McCormick, the hooker. Oh, and they move to the right. Doak then gives it to McCormick. Interesting little move there. Didn't go very far. Would have thought a line out would be better. Where you can add men to the line out. Doak is complaining about players lying in the way. Ulster keeping it with the forwards. And they move to within 2 meters of the Bulls' try line. Doak looking left, looking right, looking left again. He gives it to Morgan, and it's knocked on. Or should I say Morgan was the one that knocked it on. And there's a few handbags being thrown. It looks like the Bulls have gotten away with that one. as the halftime siren sounds. He collected. It was a no-look pass. Don't know if Morgan was expecting it. Bit of an interesting way to do that instead of just sending it down the back line, or having someone run at pace onto it. And that is it. The halftime whistle goes. So the Bulls leading 21-7 at Loftus Versfeld. Good day for South Africa so far. Of course, don't count your chickens before they hatch in this match, but the Bulls, with their scrum dominance, Ulster will have to do something special to override that. Maybe things will change in the second half, but man, I mean, you've got players like Akka van der Merwe and Jan Hendrik Wessels coming off the bench. Ew. Unbelievable depth, even in the franchises. The Lions with a very good win earlier at Emirates Airline Park, 55-21 over Edinburgh. They were 48-0 up at halftime. So they'll probably be a little disappointed by their second half performance, but I'm sure if you ask them if they'd be happy with a 55-21 win, they would have bitten your hand off for it. Because, of course, they got their bonus point. Denied Edinburgh one. What else can you ask for? Now, while it's half-time, I'm a bit of a golf nut. And let's see what's happening at the Alfred Dunhill Links. Wow, wow, wow. Tyrrell Hatton with an 11-under round on day 3 at the Alfred Dunhill Links Championship. He is 22 under. Nicholas Colsaerts, who was leading overnight, is 7 under for the day, is 21 under. And then there's a 4-shot gap. He's still a 1-hole to play. Tom Bailon, I'm hoping he's French, 17 under, alongside Rasmus Niergaard Peterson, who I think is a Dane. Tommy Fleetwood at 16 under. It's a stacked tournament here, the Alfred Dunhill Links. A lot of live players playing. Some officially, some not, don't quite know how it works. And a lot of South Africans. Hatton has finished his round. Wow. Around 361, playing at St. Andrews, the old course. Of course, this is, played over 3 courses, Carnoustie and Kings Barnes. The cut made after 3 rounds, with the last round at the famous St. Andrews. James Ashfield, also 16 under, Welshman. John Rahm in striking distance. Well, he is 6 shots behind his live teammate. He shot a 65, also at St. Andrews, 7 under, 15 under, alongside David Puig, fellow Spaniard and live player. Of course, plays for the Fireballs. Daniel Hillier, the New Zealander, also 15 under, alongside Lee Hao Tong. Some of them still in the 17th. Few guys still back to the 13th. Matthew Jordan, also 7th and 15 under. Then Peter Uline and Darren Fichart, who had that 61 in the first round, backed it up with a 70. And there's only 1 under for the day. But he's playing Carnoustie, which if the conditions aren't great, that can really be tough. So he's on 14 under in the tie for 12th. And then a tie for 14th at 13 under, Leighton, Southgate, Smith, Sadia Ollison, and Dantop. Other big names, Brooks Koepka, 3 under 69. That's in Andrews. He's 12 under. We'll have to go very low tomorrow to have any chance. Who else? McElroy, 6 under for the day. Still with another 4 holes to play. He's 12 under in a tie for 20th. Alongside Dean Burmester, Brandon Grace, and Robin Williams. A nice trio of South Africans there. Burmester 5 under for the day. Grace 3 under. Didn't have a very good year. Was relegated from Liv. Will have to go through the promotions event to get back his card. Be interesting to see if Brandon doesn't get through, which will be very difficult. There's only 3 places and there's probably 50 or 60 guys that play. Who Louis Oosthuizen will select as his 4th stinger player. It's got to be a South African. I mean, that's the whole point of the team. Robin Williams. He's only level for the day after 14. He really threw away a victory earlier this year. I think it was at St. Francis Links. Could have been a winner on the DP World Tour. Who else is there worth talking about? Justin Harding, a tie for 42nd. These guys should be all right as far as the cut's concerned. Volku Ninaber, 5 under for the day. Good round, Volku. Here's someone else who should have won by now. His length is ridiculous. Up 28 places. And 10 under, 11 behind. Podrick Harrington still playing good at golf. 10 under for the tournament. Yurav Premlal. A 1/73. There's almost nobody else that's over. I haven't seen anyone else that's over par. Pity for the youngster. A nice finish could really have set him up. I suspect there's quite a few South Africans playing here. Johan Rupert obviously being the sponsor. Let's just have a look. Possession, back to the rugby. 57% possession for Ulster. Wow. And only 43 for the Bulls. 36 carries, Bulls 37. Okay, very even there. Tackles made 48. Bulls 32, Ulster. 149 meters made by the Bulls, 111 from Ulster. Penalties conceded, 3 from the Bulls and 8 from Ulster. That's where the game is being won and lost, I suppose. Tristan Lawrence, who's lying 2nd on the DP World Tour, standings behind McElroy. He's in the tie for 56th. 3 under for the day. He's on the 18th. He's 9 under. Louis Albertser, Patrick Reed might just make the cut. Everyone else looks like they might miss the cut. Caleb Surratt. Wow, an 8 under 64. He really gave it a good go. Of course, he is John Rahm and Till Hatton's teammate for Legion. The young American, but a 77 in round 2. That's going to kill you in this event. Matt Fitzpatrick, the defending champion, might miss the cut. Billy Horschel, looks like he might miss the cut as well after winning the BMW PGA a few weeks ago in that playoff with Lawrence and McElroy. A few more South Africans who they're even a further shot back at the top of 84th. The 8 unders, some of the guys there might be able to make it. Depends how things go. Kruiswijk, Daffy, and Walters probably not going to make the Sunday round. So used to saying the weekend. Taylor Gooch, a 74-second round that killed his chances. Thomas Aiken, Carl Barker, Rupert Kaminsky, Louis De Jager, Jaden Shaper. He's been playing well recently, but played well last week. Not going to make the cut. Casey Jarvis is someone that needs to break through. 5 under for the day, but started with 73. Way behind the 8 ball if that happens. Dylan Fratelli. Haven't seen Louis Oosthuizen yet. What's happened to him? Jaco Prinsloo, Oliver Becker. Jacques P. de Villiers, who came so close to winning in Mauritius last year, with Louis eventually taking it at the course he designed. He could easily be a DP World Tour winner. Brandon Stone, par for the day, it was never going to be good enough, especially with the 1 over the previous day. Ryan van Velsen, Louis stays at 1 over for the day. Louis. But Khan, he's only 2 under for the tournament. Pity. Nikhil Rama. No. Parampota. There's a youngster that Jan Rupert gave some sort of sponsors exemption to. George Kutsia. He hasn't been in great form recently, eh? Hudson Swafford. Nowhere near the running. Oh well. It's an update from the golf. Alfred Dunhill Links Championship. A couple of South Africans on the PGA Tour. Or should I say one? Garrick Higo trying to secure his card for next season. Okay, still half-time at Loftus. Just a recap. Tries from David, what should I say, initially, Kurtley Orenser, David Creel, and Jan Grobler. Creel and Grobler both in their 50th appearance for the Bulls in the URC. And 3 conversions from Boeta Chamberlain. Probably a good move so far for the youngster. You know, there were a couple of times, I think, missed kicks kind of scuppered his chances at the Bulls. And then, of course, he also missed one in the semi-final of the Currie Cup. So, yeah, I've always liked him, and he's got good feet and good distributor. But, man, if you're a fly half and you generally are the one guy that's kicking for posts, very difficult to justify it when you miss key kicks. And at the same time, I think they maybe jumped the gun a season or so ago when he was playing good rugby and they played Kerwin Bosch ahead of him. Yeah, I think it dented his confidence. But all the best in Pretoria. And we're off for the second half. Boeta Chamberlain, as I just mentioned him. Stockdale taking the ball in the center of the field. Doak feeds a couple of the forwards. Looks like they will. Yes, and it is Aidan Morgan. The kick downfield into the Bulls half, but taken easily. Orenser ends up with the ball. He's running sideways, backwards, feeds LaRue again. LaRue to Moody, running at pace onto the ball. Haven't seen much of him. Let's hope he... Oh, very good interplay. Steenekamp makes a half break, feeds Grobelaar. Nice quick ball from Papier to Chamberlain. Papier, LaRue, short ball to Elrichlo over the 22. Papier feeds Volkulo. Papier again. Chamberlain behind the back to David Creel. He dummies. He goes himself. He gives it to Kane and Moody, who goes over the try line. Brilliant work from the Bulls there. Just as we were talking about Moody. Can he have more of an impact in the second half? And he does just that. David Creel with the half break. I hope my commentary is adding to your cycling, Eric. Thanks for letting me know. I think Moody's future might be at outside centre. Now, interesting, David Creel is taking the conversion. I don't know what Chamberlain did wrong, because he had 3 out of 3. We're into the 43rd minute. It looks like he's limping a little, so that might be the reasoning. Creel, can he kick? It wasn't a difficult one, just left of the uprights, but he slots that very simply. Half break from Creel, gets the pass away in the tackle. Moody was looking to offload, but he realized he could just fall over the try line, despite an Ulsterman on his back. So 28-7 to the Bulls. And that, of course, is their fourth try. It does work differently in URC than it does in the Rugby Championship. Once you scored your 4, you've got your bonus point. You don't have to be 3 clear of the opposition. Coming out slowly from the ruck. Papier with the box kick. Contestable, taken well from Ulster, but no, the referee is going to go back for a penalty. Offside. Werner Kok thought the penalty was for them, but no, it's for the Bulls. Or should I say, it is for Ulster. Excuse me. So one of the Bulls players was ahead of the kicker. There you go. And there's a bad cut for Ulrich Lowe. So he's being attended to. (28-7) to the Bulls. The clock has stopped at 43:38. So, the scrum half, Nathan Doak, will kick for the corner. Needing to... So, Ulrich Lowe is off, I presume, to the blood bin, replaced by Gumere. Oh, no, and it doesn't find Henderson. The ball goes over the top, and it looks like it might have gone forward from one of the Bulls players. No, it looks like it was thrown in skew from the line-out, from McCormick, over Henderson, unless it possibly came off Henderson's hand. I think it might have just come off Henderson's hand. It evaded Grobelaar at the tail of the line-out, and then went forward, so no advantage. And it will be a Bull scrum on the 15-meter line, on their 5-meter line. Are they going to... I mean, they would just love to force a penalty here, wouldn't they? Another solid scrum from the Bulls. Ulster disintegrating. Referee hasn't given a penalty. Papier feeds David Creel, who goes 3 or 4 meters. It comes out for Papier. He then plays Kobus Visa. Papier back to Willie Leroux, who strokes it out. I don't think you can ever accuse Willie Leroux of kicking a ball too hard. He strokes the ball nicely. Kind of the way I wish my goal swing was. I tend to be a little aggressive, and it doesn't work for me. It works once in a while, then I think, okay, I found the way to do it, and no. A very good move from Ulster at the back of the line-out. It's popped back to Werner Kok, but he is stopped in his tracks. Henderson takes it up. Doak. One of the props finding themselves. Oh, nice short ball. Gumere. Gumere comes through and gets a hand onto it, but it's a penalty, a deliberate knockdown. It's deemed from the replacement. So Doak will kick for the corner again. They will be hoping they can secure the line out this time. They're about 6 or 7 meters short of the Bulls' try line. This time the Bulls don't challenge. Henderson takes it down easily this time. And they set up the maul. Corey Barrett is back on. Ulster back to 15. Kubus Visa retreats. As Ulster, they've been told to use it. Ball down to ground legally. Doak to Warwick. Didn't go very far. Pick up from the base. And it's a penalty to Ulster for starting again, not rolling away. And Nathan Doak is going to kick for the corner once again. The Bulls leading 28-7 into the 48th minute at Loftus. The sun is obviously setting, and it's just the hooker who has to look back into the light with the rest of the field in the shade. Again, a good line out from Ulster. They've gone backwards in the maul slightly. Ulster might have to use this now. And McCormick breaks off the side. McNabney takes it up. Henderson, the captain, trying his best to break this Bulls defense, which is solid as they come. Irvine takes it up. Reffel, who's back on, had to go off during the yellow card. And the ball comes back to the Bulls side. Hanekom hacks it upfield. How did that happen? The ball goes out about 5 meters short of the halfway line. I think it might have come off an Ulster boot. Found its way to the Bulls side. Hanekom picked it up and banged it upfield. Someone who should be capped as soon as possible. I know earlier this year, Wales were talking about possibly capping him. So the tight head Barrett, who went off for multiple scrum infringements, has been replaced by O'Toole permanently. And Warwick is also off with Eric O'Sullivan on the field. Will 2 new props make a difference as far as avoiding penalties and the scrums are concerned? Yes, so I suspect Russie's got his eye on Hanekom. I'd be surprised if he didn't. But let's just cap the guy, please. I don't want him to play for another country. I know that probably sounds selfish. But when it comes to the Springboks, I don't want to share. I'll be honest. You know, guys that are past it or in some form or another won't play for the Boks and could play for another country, then I've got no issue. Because I do like the new rule in World Rugby, like a Malachi Fekitoa, who played for Tonga in the last World Cup. That's sensible. Okay, Ulster have the ball. Morgan, Cock, great interplay. Stockdale comes back inside, pops the ball back. It somehow finds Reffel, and now the ball comes out again on the Bull side. Don't know how that worked. Was that Van Staden with his hand on the ruck? And the referee saying it came forward off an Ulsterman. So the Bulls will have a scrum on their 10-meter line, or just on their side of it. Oh, interesting. Okay, so the Ulsterman was trying to place the ball backwards. You could say he was playing the ball on the ground, possibly. And then Van Staden played it with his boot. But was he at the last man's feet? How does that work? Interesting. Anyway, he's saying it came off the Ulsterman's hand. But I don't know. Van Staden definitely played it back with his boot. So would that constitute a knock-on? Anyway, Bulls scrums won 6, Ulster 0. That tells the story. Papier to Creel. Loop around from Boeta Chamberlain. Short ball to de Klerk, but the ball goes forward. Stockdale in possession. Goes down to ground. The supporters there. Doak goes to the right. Morgan to Lowry. And the ball goes forward from Ben Carson as he hit the turf. And no advantage. So they will go back for the handling error from the Bulls in midfield. He was running beautifully onto the ball there. Short ball from Chamberlain, who's had a very good game so far, I must say. So, tag McElroy, a debut for the hooker, comes onto the field, replaces James McCormick. And Alan O'Connor comes onto the field. And I think replaces the captain, Ian Henderson. Aka van der Merwe is also on the field. Obviously in replace of the man who brought his 50 up today and scored a try, Johan Grobbelaar. Spent a lot of time with the box this season. Certainly one for the future. Interesting that Jan-Hendrik Wessels, who's the prop replacement, was the hooker replacement for the box in Santiago. Looks like Jake has different views on that one. Then again, you've got someone like Akker. I mean, why wouldn't you have both on the bench? Okay, that scrum not working very well. Reset. New personnel on the field, still trying to feel each other out. 28-7, we're into the 53rd minute. I will be posting score updates in the comments. So the last available score there will be the updated one. 4 tries to 1 so far for the home side. A good day out for last year's finalists. Probably still smarting from that one. Probably should have won that game. Anyway, well done to Franco Smith and his Glasgow Warriors. Ulster somehow get the ball out of the scrum. And they go left. Morgan feeds Irvine on the halfway line. Doak digs for it. Again, Morgan. Shall I say Moore there, the outside centre. Morgan then feeds the replacement prop. Eric O'Sullivan, good defence from the Bulls. Ulster behind the advantage line. Morgan to Mike Lowry. Shows his strength and makes 3 or 4 meters. Beautiful short ball to Stockdale, who somehow gets the ball away to Cock. Cock is tackled. But good play from Ulster so far. Through the phases nicely. Sean Reffel fighting forward. The ball popped up, almost lost. But somehow he holds on to it. And it is a penalty. Cameron Hanekom showing his stealing abilities. On his feet, over the ball. It looks like Ulster. A little bit of chirping. The referee takes them a whole 10 meters forward into the Ulster half. And Chamberlain will kick for the corner. And he can't be too injured, considering he's still on the field and kicking for touch. So tackled by Ruan Nortje. Steenekamp helping out. Doak takes it forward. He plays the man who I think was surprised by that ball, and Hanekom was on his feet over the ball. So it looks like Ulrich Louw's back on the field. He was obviously stitched up. Gumede back to the bench. And it's a nice move from the Bulls. One jumps. It goes straight to Nortje, who didn't jump. And are they over the line? They're definitely over the line, and it's a try for the Bulls, their 5th of the afternoon. Who is it this time? Difficult to see there. And it is Hanekom. His 4th career try in the URC. A solid maul from the Bulls there. We're into the 57th minute. The Bulls leading 33-7 with the kick to come. Will be David Creel again. This one a little further out from the easier first one that he had. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Referee telling him. Oh, does he kick it over? No. Didn't get a good connection there. A bit under it. So, 33-7. Doak kicks off. The Bulls take it. Ruan Nortje runs up over the 22. Papier setting up the caterpillar forms. And he kicks it way up into the Pretoria sky. And it's a great take from Ulster. Jacob Stockdale, but no, it's a penalty to the Bulls. Looks like one of the Ulster men. Jacob Stockdale, acting a bit childish. The referee might have a chat to him. And he takes them another 10 meters forward. Grow up. Looks like it was the replacement hooker, Tag McElroy, who shoved one of the oncoming Bulls players. So, about 44 meters out, and Chamberlain will kick for the corner again. There you see it. He just moved to his right. Bit of obstructive running. So, will the Bulls set up another maul here? Into the 59th minute. Stockdale's off. Interesting. I suppose after those issues. And Moxham is also on. So Timone coming on for Stockdale. The Bulls take it from the top. Van Staden, 2 meters short. Creel picks it up, but he's driven backwards. Maybe you should stick to the back line. Van Staden digging for it. He goes himself. Places it back for Papier. Papier to Akker van der Merwe. Back to Chamberlain. Back to Leroux. Leroux goes himself. Gets it away to Kanan Moody, who's over the try line. Willie Leroux, the creator, once again. Second try of the afternoon for Kanan Moody. But the referee is just checking something before I post that score. Just checking if it's obstruction. Did Willie Leroux obstruct a man as he passed? But surely you can't obstruct someone if you're the passer. Interesting. Let's see. So Willie, he dummies, he goes himself, and then he pops it. And then it looks like he might have obstructed the man there. But he was the passer, and Moody changed direction. So he's going, and then he pops it to Moody, who goes behind Leroux. Okay, so he's saying he took the man out who couldn't make the tackle, and it is no try. That's unlucky. So Shannon coming on to replace Nathan Doak, who's been at the center of most things. Also a scrum off replacement, Keegan Johannes replacing Ambrose Papier for the Bulls. Short ball at the line out for Ulster. But they spoil the ball, and Elrich Lowe picks it up. Hanekom. Keegan Johannes, short ball to Kobus Visa. Changes direction, Johannes. Ulrich Lowe. Chamberlain dummies and goes, and he scores. Boeta Chamberlain. See, now that's exactly what I was talking about. He has that ability to show and go. Not a hand laid on him. Oh, it was, wow. That was unbelievable. It was actually an intercept by Rua Norkia from the scrum half's pass. He then popped it back to Ulrich Lowe, who picked it up from his bootlaces. Wow, that's some amazing skills from the Bulls forwards. Creel attempting the conversion into the 62nd minute. And that is 47 to the Bulls. Klopper is on for Vilkulo. Keegan Johannes kicks it into the night sky. I suppose it is night, 25, late afternoon, early evening. Looks like the ball going forward there from the Bulls player after Keegan Johannes's box kick. Don't know about that. Didn't even look like it touched Ruan Norkia. And also went backwards. Anyway, most things have gone for the Bulls today, so can't complain too much. Ulster scrum on the 10-meter line in the Bulls half. First scrum feed for Dave Shanahan. Too much movement, and it's a short arm. Free kick for Ulster, who take it quickly. Shanahan changes direction. Ball pass backwards. Van der Kok in possession. Hands off one. Gets the ball away to Reffel. And he's tackled out. It was James McNabney who was tackled out there. Van der Kok, what a handoff. Gets the ball away to McNabney. Bulls. Quick line out from them again. Keegan Johannes. Another box kick. Steaming up from Sebastian de Klerk, but a brilliant take from Stuart Moore. Ball goes back, and it's a long kick to the other side of the field, taken easily by Willie Leroux, who plays Britta Chamberlain, who chips the ball over the top. But no, there were players lurking there, and McNabney takes the ball forward. Somehow comes back Ulster's way. Mark Lowry, almost an intercept from Ulrich Lowe, but the ball's gone forward from Lowry's pass over the top. Not a penalty, just a scrum on the halfway line. Ulrich Lowe, brilliant game. A big gash for his efforts. Spent about 15 minutes off the field, getting patched up. He was good, and he had a good season last year. But the experience of being with the Boks for a number of months can only have made him better. And sky's the limit for Ulrich Lowe. Made an impact every time he came onto the field for the Boks. And we've got another Bulls loose forward going off for blood. This time Cameron Hanekom. Might as well just replace him at this point. So Gumede is back on. And Manjesi is also on the field. Don't know, he's quite replaced. Might be Kobus Visa. Confirm that as soon as I can. Yes, so correct. Gumede on for Hanekom and Manjesi on for Visa. So Ulster with the scrum on the halfway line. Can they do something after what has been a disappointing day for the Irish side? 8th man to Shanahan. Good tackle from Kane Moody, but they did make a fair amount of ground. O'Connor takes it up. Shanahan to Humphreys, to Moore. A guard wide. McNabney with a decent run. Shanahan back in field. Show and go. Sintu Manjezi seemed like he was on his feet, but he's saying 18 not rolling away. Francois Klopper not rolling away. So Manjezi didn't have any rights to the ball. Humphreys, of course, replaced fly half Morgan. And he will kick to the corner, or at least attempt to. Okay. No. Correction, Klopper tackled an Ulsterman without the ball. So there was no advantage there. Manjezi did have rights to it, but the referee went back for the penalty. Can they score their second try, Ulster? McElroy feeds the line out, but it's disrupted by the Bulls and stolen. That's what happens when you compete. Keegan Johannes will play Klopper. He doesn't go anywhere. What will Johannes do this time as the Bulls secure it? Directing traffic back to Chamberlain, who kicks it downfield, just outside the 22. That's the way they used to do it in the past. Very rare these days to see a scrum half passing to the fly half for him to do the clearing kick, despite it being most certainly more of a reliable option. So Stedman Gans replaces David Creel, who's had a great game. I will be adding a link to an interview that was done with David Creel by Ronaldo Botma of Octafield in the description. So the Ulster with ball in hand again into the 22. Shanahan from Humphreys, a skip pass to the man on the outside, and he goes over. Or has he? Referee is just going to consult with the AR, and he gives the try. Ben Carson showed his strength there. It is his first start today. Who did he bounce there? Very good pass from Humphreys. Right across the face. Skipped Van der Kok. And just boom. Apiwe Dianti. Not a small guy, but making light work of him. Ben Carson. So James Humphreys. So Humphreys slots over the conversion. 40-14 to the Bulls. Into the 71st minute. Chamberlain, and there you go. Those little basic errors. He kicks the ball out on the full. Something that if you're wanting to secure your place in a team like the Bulls, you can't be doing those things, despite a very good game. And you'll just have those few doubts about the odd thing you did or didn't do. And something like that, there's no need for it. There really isn't. So, Ulster, unsurprisingly, have said, no, we will not take the scrum on the halfway line. We will take the line out. Of course. If I was them, I would do likewise. McElroy. Nope. And it is a free kick because the Bulls closed the gap. It was stolen by them, so the referee gives the free kick. And it's Mike Lowry who's wigging and wegging. Shanahan digs for the ball. Good clean out. Shanahan. Oh, the ball behind the advantage line. Mocks him up to the 50-meter line. Shanahan, Humphreys, feeds it back to Carson, who finds Van der Kok. Oh, a beautiful pass from Van der Kok to Mark Lowry. He plays the man on the inside. Shanahan, back inside to Lowry. Can he find the corner? No, he doesn't, but he feeds to the man on the inside. What a try from Ulster. Beautiful interplay. That was a magnificent try from Ulster. Just got to confirm who that was. Stuart Moore scoring the try. Humphreys somehow managed to get it to Carson, who fed Cock. And Cock really made the try because he drew two men, fed Lowry on the outside. Lowry then back to Shanahan, again to Lowry. And Lowry found Stuart Moore on the inside, who went over the whitewash. One more try, and it is a bonus point. And it's a beautiful kick from James Murphy. Shall I say Humphreys? What an offload from Van der Kok. 40-21 to the Bulls. Of course, it is a debut for James Humphreys. So great start to his URC career. Good work in the back line. Two solid conversions. This time, Chamberlain makes sure not to kick it out on the full, which is effectively what led to the try. And it's a penalty to Ulster. Things going the way of the men in white at this stage. Looks like Ulrich Hallo conceding the penalty off his feet at the ruck. 40-21 as we tick over into the 75th minute. A bonus point would be at least something for Ulster here. One more, and they get the 4-try bonus point. And then another, and they can come within 7. So the Bulls will definitely not want to concede any long points to Ulster here. McElroy ready to feed the line out on the halfway line. The line out has not been great so far, but they do. O'Connor down to Shanahan. Ulster, and the Bulls are on their feet and concede the penalty. Perfect timing. Cameron Hanekom. He is now replaced Gumede, who replaced Lowe earlier for Bloodbin. He went off, come back on. Gumede's off again. And he was the man on his feet over the ball. At least the second steal from the 8th man this evening. Reffel, the man, caught in possession on the halfway line. Chamberlain kicks for the corner. About 18 meters out from the line. And this is the perfect position for the Bulls. Just take their time. Aka van der Merwe lining it up. Who will he find? His captain, Rua Norkia. One of the safest line-out hands in the world now. Aka van der Merwe plays Keegan Johannes. Skip pass to Moody. Short ball to Willie Leroux. He pops it off the ground to Stedman Hans. The ball, is it out? It looked like it was. And Ulster come barreling through the ruck. Somehow it comes back. Ulrich Lowe picks it up. And the ball goes forward off a Bull's hand. Ulster now in possession. 10 meters short of their line, no advantage. And he's giving the scrum to the Bulls. He's saying it was ripped out by one of the visitors. Nick Timoney. It looks like Stuart Moore, the score trier. Trying to score. Try scorer. Bit of a shoulder problem, but it seems like he'll be fine. He toured South Africa with the Emergent Ireland team a couple of years ago, and they are in South Africa at the moment, playing the Toyota Challenge in Bloemfontein. A good win over the Pumas a couple of days ago, with the Western Force beating the Cheetahs. Interesting that Jacob Stockdale was replaced. He was probably their best player for the time he was on the field. Okay, so scrum to the Bulls. 7 meters short of the line, right in front of the poles. Do they go right? Do they go left? Do they go straight? They have the ability to do that with their scrum. But of course, things change slightly when multiple replacements are made. A number of the Ulster tight five, at least, probably want to show the coach that they can withstand the Bulls' scrummaging power. And it is up to the Bulls players who are on to continue doing what their starters did for most of the match so far. So Johannes ready to feed. He does so. I thought, are those rules not in the URC? Because that guy's... It's Kanan Moody who's caught 2 meters short of the line. And it's a clean, a very good clean. Johannes finds Manjezi. He's a meter short. Picked up by Ulrich Lowe, and he's over the line. If anyone deserved a try, it was Ulrich Lowe. Picked it up from the base of the ruck and slammed it over the try line. Manjezi, about 1.5 meters short. Then Lowe picked it up and boom. Well, that's that then. If there were any designs from Ulster to get 2 bonus points, that's firmly out the window now. And interestingly, it's Keegan Johannes that's now going to kick for poles, considering David Creel is off the field. Quite a few kicking options here for the Bulls, it seems, in the 79th minute. Keegan Johannes has kicked the conversion from about 5 meters out from the touchline. So, wow, some good options. Very good options as far as kickers are concerned for the Bulls. Probably the last kick of the game or movement of the game. Ball goes back off an Ulsterman. Shanahan back inside from Tom O'Toole. Good line from him. Lowry gets tackled back by Aka van der Merwe. Shanahan, Ulster, desperate to score that 4th try. At least getting something out the game would be worth a trip. Of course, the Sharks kicked a penalty at the end of their game against Connacht last week to get the bonus point. A game they probably should have won. Not probably, should have won. So the final hooter goes Irvin, the debutant, had a pretty good game under the circumstances. But running at 6s and 7s at the moment, Ulster, still don't quite know what that means. I think they're running around not knowing what they're doing. I think that's it. And the penalty goes to the Bulls. It is Cameron Hanekom who is over the ball again, at least a third steal from the 8th man. Wow, is he showing what he can do? And that's that. The final whistle goes 47-21. And that is a very good performance. Very good performance in the Bulls. 47-21. Can't ask for more than that. Bonus points secured. Nice addition to the points difference. We know that does make a difference at the end of the day. It often does. So the more tries you can score, the bigger difference you can have between your scoreline and the opposition, the better. So that's that for this match. Well done, Bulls. Well done, Lions. Both very good, solid victories. Van der Kok coming back to South Africa, unfortunately on the losing side for him, in both cases, this week and last week, against the Lions. I will be back at about 6:10 with the short build-up for the Sharks-Dragons game being played at Rodney Parade in Newport, Wales. Can the Sharks get their first victory? They are much fancied this season. Do have the addition of Jaden Hendrickse flying over to join his brother in the team. First time that they will be playing together since 2018 when they played for the first 15 at Glenwood. Because, of course, Jordan went to the Lions. So 47-21. The Bulls with a very good victory over Ulster. And the man in the match, by the way, is Gerard Steenekamp. I mean, I love it when they give it to props because did he just demolish everything before him? Well done, Gerard. He's got a bright future. And obviously, Rassi agrees. Cheers. Until the Sharks game.